Hello everyone and welcome to Career Conversation Podcast. In this podcast, we invite industry experts from various domains to share their learnings and experience. In today's episode, we have very special guest Pallavi Singh. Pallavi is currently working as Director of Data Science and Analytics at Providence India. She is having around 15 plus years of experience in this domain. So welcome Pallavi to the show.
Thank you, Dushyant, for calling me on your show, and I'm very excited for being here.
So how was your journey started from Wipro in 2010 till now as a Director of Analytics?
Well, to start with, my journey into data science was very far from the traditional. If I talk about my career, I started off in electrical and electronics engineering, a field where programming language felt completely irrelevant. First company, they definitely have given us a basic training of 3 months in SAS. Uh, but at the time, the process of getting the training that you go through a certain set of commands, programming, and based on that, an assessment gonna be given to you. If you clear the assessment, then you're going to be the part of a belief. Back during that time, my mindset was more focused on, getting that test rather than understanding the concept or the programming of it. So I did training and I passed in the first attempt, and that's how I got my first project. But the catch was my first project required expertise in R, although my training was in SAS. And the set of programming, the commands are entirely different in both the language. So my very first, honestly, at the beginning, I was
Mhm.
data science felt very intimidating and unfamiliar to me. But the good thing is that I did not give up. I stuck with it because I didn't have any option at that time. So even when things did not make sense, and I think when you don't, so that's how my journey.
Right.
Then, when I continued in my career, I transitioned into big data, which opened up even more new doors and opportunities. That's when I made the decision to pursue my master's in business analytics and project management from the University of Connecticut. That step was a turning point on machine learning algorithm and later into the management role. So today I'm working as the director of data science and client management is because that I got a blend of both technical and business skills. Also, through this channel, I would definitely would like to tell the audience, even though my 70% of my time is spent on strategic thinking and problem solving, I make it to a point that I
Mhm.
keep my 30% of time still on hands on because data science is ever evolving. So staying close to the technology, keeping up with new tools and trend is incredibly important. And I feel that being involved in the practical side of the things, keeping me grounded and help me stay sharp. So that is required. So I would say my journey has been a journey of constant learning. And I hope my story can inspire other who might feel that the field of the data science, which is a very unfamiliar place. But again, as I started with persistence and a willingness to learn, there is no limit to what you can achieve.
So we talk about multiple aspects, right? And audience are interested to know what is data analytics, what is data science, and what is big data. So people are confused about these all data terms. So can you help us to clarify?
Science, data analytics, and big data. These are just the different terms. For in order to answer that, I have to take a two steps back, right?
Hmm.
Because data science is a broad field that combines programming, data manipulation, and machine learning to extract insights and knowledge from the data, right?
Hmm.
And data scientists use various algorithm models and tools to analyze those data sets, identifying the patterns and making the prediction or recommendation.
Hmm.
So, if we talk about what are the key activities in data science, that include building machine learning model, which can predict future trends or classify data. That includes data wrangling and cleaning to prepare the data sets for analysis. And
Hmm.
most importantly, data visualization to present the
Hmm.
finding in an understandable way. Like anyone can understand like what we are talking or trying to say from the data. So these are the key activities which are involved in data science. Now, coming to your next segment, which is data analytics, right?
Hmm.
So, data analytics is more focused on the process of inspecting, cleaning, and modeling data to discover useful information, draw the conclusions, and support the decision making. So, I would say while data science involves creating predictive model and
Hmm.
advanced analytics, data analytics is more about analyzing data for insight that can drive specific business decisions and improve
Right.
operation efficiency. And if I talk about what are the key activities in data analytics, basically it includes descriptive analytics, which is like analyze the historical data and trends. diagnostic analytics, which is like why something has happened in the data, and prescriptive
Okay.
analytics, which involves providing recommendation based on data insights.
Okay.
Now, coming to your big data, it refers to the data sets, as the name suggests, big data. It refers to those data sets that are too large, complex, or fast changing for data processing tools to handle. So I would say big data often involves terabytes or petabytes of the data that come from different sources like the social media, the sensors, the IoT devices, and more. So the data which are like usually too vast and unstructured to be analyzed is known as big data. And the big data technologies are Hadoop, Spark, cloud computing platform, which is Azure, AWS, Google Cloud. These are basically to store, manage, and analyze the massive amount of data. So if you want to understand, in summary, basically data analytics focus on analyzing data to answer questions and inform decisions. Data science delve deeper into creating models and leveraging machine learning to predict future outcomes, while big data involves the tools and the method which is required to work with those complex data sets, leveraging the technologies that enable the scaling and high speed processing. So all these are very crucial in today's data driven world, and they often overlap with real world applications, but each brings their own unique values to solve the data challenges.
Right. And now let's go deeper into each vertical. Now, and we see the history and the future. So let's say data analytics. What are the things happen in last 5 years about data analytics, and how the trends are moving ahead in the next 10 years, and what are the skills required for anyone to start the career in data analytics field?
Like as I was mentioning, data science is an ever evolving field. So over
Hmm.
the past 5 years, data analytics has undergone a significant evolution that are driven largely by advancing technology, increased data availability, and the growing demand for data driven decision making across different industry.
Right.
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 So one of the major trends and the changes that have shaped in the last 5 years is the adoption of cloud technology. So now, because with the increase in the size of the data, as we were just talking about the big data, the
Hmm.
cloud platforms, which are Microsoft Azure, AWS, Google Cloud, they haven't made it very easier for the organization to store, manage, and analyze the massive data sets. And
Right.
uh, currently, cloud computing has become the backbone of modern data analytics to offer scalability, flexibility, and cost efficiency, which was not there.
Right.
Right. Another thing which has been a change in the last 5 years and has been adopted widely is the rise of the self-service analytics, because not everybody wants to do analytics, right? So
Right.
with
Right.
tools like Tableau, Power BI, Google Data Studio, more people within the organization, especially including the non-technical users, are able to conduct their own analysis. And
Hmm.
that has led to the rise of the low code, no code platform, right?
Right.
That has democratized the data analytics, allowing the business users to make data driven decision
Hmm.
without heavily relying on the data scientists and engineers.
Hmm. Hmm.
Uh, The third aspect I would like to talk about is the real time analytics and streaming data. Now, because
Okay.
the client, like earlier, we used to take the historical data, build the prediction, then wait for the data to come, to check the accuracy of the model. Now, with the real-time analytics and streaming data, the ability to analyze real-time data has become a game changer,
Hmm.
particularly in industry like healthcare, finance, and e-commerce. The streaming platforms like Apache Kafka or Flink, they
Hmm.
have enabled organization to process and analyze the live data for immediate decision making.
Right.
Right. And definitely, as we're talking about AI and data, the regulatory bodies are very important to take care of the data, right? So
Okay.
with regulation like GDPR, CCPA coming into the
Hmm.
picture, they have been playing a growing emphasis on data privacy, ethical data collection, and responsible analytics.
Right.
So that is what has happened in the last 5 years. Now, the interesting part, you asked me what's going to happen in the next 10 years. So, looking ahead, the next decade gonna bring even more dramatic shifts in the field of data analytics.
Hmm.
The reason, like as emerging technologies and evolving business needs continue to shape the landscape, some of the anticipated changes gonna include greater integration of artificial intelligence and automation. That is all over
Right.
the internet, right?
Right. Right.
So the next 10 years will likely going to see how AI driven analytics becomes the norm, right?
Mm-hmm.
We are trying to integrate AI everywhere. How can the
Mm-hmm.
automated data analysis can perform end-to-end analysis and reporting without human intervention?
Right.
With how it can revolutionize the entire analytic process,
Mm-hmm.
right? The another thing which I would like to talk about the data democratization and enhanced collaboration, right?
Okay.
So because as more organization focused on building a data-driven culture, the gap between data analysts, business users, and executives will continue to shrink. So cross-functional collaboration will be at the heart of the organizations with data-driven decision making to bring the common practices for everyone from
Right.
entry-level employees to top executive. Another thing which is very, very important, Dushyant, and we should be talking about this more, is about being more ethical and responsible for using the AI practices, right? Because as AI becoming a bigger part of the data analytics, ethical consideration will also become more critical because
Mm.
future data analysts will need to be skilled in both data analysis and understanding why bias, transparency, and accountability is needed in the AI model. How we can
Right.
talk, how we can create an open platforms to talk about it,
Mm.
and obviously increase use of natural language processes. Because
Mm.
now with natural language processing, it can interfere, which will enable the voice driven analytics, allowing the
Right.
user to query the data sets in plain language. So instead of learning the complex languages, now user will be able to interact with data that can be spoken or written and make the analytics even more accessible.
Right. And I think recently we have seen that the AI agents, especially coming, especially in the data and analytics field, which is helping the users to get the analytics faster. Because as you mentioned, there was a cloud and there was a period of BI tools and Tableau tools. Now we are
Yeah.
coming the AI agent time where the people can ask the agent to get the right analytics, right? So now the skill set for the new data analytics are getting more complex and more tedious. What to learn and how to learn, because now the new data analytics field is little different than the what happened in last 5 years.
On the fact like how the tools technologies are changing over the time period, how the AI
Mm-hmm.
is taking over a lot of things, right? So AI agents are already, I would say, revolutionizing the data analytics by speeding up various tasks. They're automating the repetitive process and uncovering the insights at a much faster pace that human alone can, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how AI is helping to make analytics faster? Like as I was talking, one of the thing which used to take a lot of time for a data analyst or the data scientist in the past is the data cleaning and preparation, right?
Right.
With the
Right.
data coming AI agent, they can help in automating the tedious and time consuming task of data cleaning. They can remove the
Mm-hmm.
duplicates, handle the missing values, correct the inconsistencies in the data. That can reduce the amount of the time data analysts used to spend on data wrangling and allow them to focus more on insight generation,
Mm-hmm.
right? Now, another thing is the faster insights with machine learning. Earlier, a data analyst or a scientist has to go through the reports and the visual to understand what are the hidden insight in order to give the key summarization of the report to the stakeholder. Now the
Right.
AI agents can analyze the data in the real time. They can find the
Mm-hmm.
patterns, they can generate the insights, which are faster than the traditional methods. And with AI driven analytics, the ability to process and analyze the huge data sets, they can allow businesses to react quickly to trend and make informed decision instantly. Another thing like which I was talking about NLP for queries, right? So as with the evolution in the data science, we are more and more moving towards the natural language processing,
Mm-hmm.
right? So AI agent with NLP capabilities allow the user to interact with data using conventional language,
Right.
right? So instead of having to write complex SQL queries, a data analyst can simply ask AI agent question in plain language, and it can make the process much faster and more intuitive.
Mm.
Now, if you are saying our data analyst is becoming more tedious, so I would say with the role of data analyst, which has evolved with the help of AI tools, it doesn't necessarily mean that their skills are becoming more tedious.
Mm.
Instead, AI agents are automating, they're automating the repetitive task, They are making the data analyst working more strategically and more impactful.
Right.
So I would say, however, the AI taking over of the more tedious part of the analytics, data analyst, they need to focus on developing new higher level skill, which
Right.
means
Mhm.
rather than shifting their focus on the data wrangling, they should shift their focus to a more insightful driven or strategic role. Now, what does that mean? This is something which we have to, be very mindful of that, which is like more strategic and less technical, right?
Mhm.
So they should focus on aligning how this data driven insight can align with the business goals, how they can craft those strategy and drive more business outcomes, right?
Right.
Uh, the data analysts, they need to become more comfortable with integrating the machine learning into their workflows. They may not need
Mhm.
to be data scientists, but they will need to have a basic understanding of machine learning algorithm to how to use them to interpret complex data set. Their role gonna enhance more on the decision making side, right?
Mhm.
Because as the availability of different data and AI tool increases, the data analyst role in driving the informed decision making will expand, because they will
Right.
no longer just be providing the insight. They're gonna
Mhm.
act as an important decision influencer, which gonna
Right.
guide organizations, stakeholders, like how to respond to the market trends. What are the different consumer behavior which they should be more focused on? What are the different inefficiencies which they should be focused on to drive more efficiency in the business, right? So definitely the skills for the future data analyst is to start crafting narrative and visualization to make your data
Mhm.
insight more actionable. They should be able to work with AI tool to understand how they function, how they can leverage them to stream workflows. They should work with stakeholders from different business units to ensure that their data-driven decisions are more aligned with business goals.
Right. Right. So with the help of AI, how to do the thing is sorted, right? Now AI will help you to sort out the many things and then you can speed up. Now the important thing, what to do, right? What data you need, what business decision can be made based on that data. That will help you out more in long run rather than how to do the things. That's what we're talking about.
Yes.
Okay, great. And same impact we are seeing in the data science also, because data analytics is working on the data side, which is covering the data. So AI will help you to clean the data, organize the data, structure, and populating the some report, and then what to be done. Now data science also getting affected. What we see in the last 5 year for data science and next 5 year with the help of AI, how data science roles are getting affected.
So let me, like, if you talk about, the role of data scientist, I would say they are always undergoing significant transformation. Because, the way this field is evolving at the
Mhm,
lightning speed, they have
mhm,
to be always be on their toes all the time,
mhm.
because
Right.
these AI driven tools and systems are rapidly automating the routine tasks. They are
Mhm,
enhancing the analysis process. They are enabling the data scientists to, again, focusing more on innovative aspects of their roles. So, right, like as I was just mentioning, like, the difference between the way data analysts or data scientists used to work before and now, we can see
mhm.
that there is a great saying, and which we are seeing all over the internet, that AI not going to replace our job. People using AI can,
Right. Right.
right? So the role of the data scientist here, they have to understand how AI, what prompt AI is taking, what kind of input they are generating, and how they can, apply their strategic thinking in that. How they can
Mhm,
spend less on the repetitive task and then focus more on interpreting result and building strategic models, and can
right.
identify more business opportunities for their organization, right?
Mhm,
And like, during my introduction, I also told that my role has evolved over the time, where I was needed to bridge the gap between the business goals and the technical data, which is
right.
something we need to understand, right? So
Mhm,
with the more evolving technologies, platform, no code, low code getting introduced, data scientists, they need to understand the trends, they need to understand the market dynamics to create more relevant and impactful model, right? They need to create more auto ML and AI driven tools which can allow them to experiment with new and complex algorithm without needing to code from the scratch. So if I talk
mhm.
about when I started 15 years back, I used to just have Stack Overflow or one or two other platform where we used to go type our question, go through 100 articles to find our answer. Now with
Right.
all these new technologies, you can just get the entire code on just one single prompt. But
Mhm,
you need to have your understanding, like how the same code which is generated, how you can modify it to use more power documentation, more to enhance more model performance, how you can
Right.
detect the hidden patterns and can build generative model for synthetic data creation, simulation, and
Mhm.
experimentation. So they have to be more focused on research and innovation. They have to push the boundaries of AI and build the next gen models that can integrate the data from the diverse sources. So
Right.
definitely they are again going to be at the forefront of experimenting, but by leveraging AI.
Right. And we always seen that the soft skill play important role in any career. But with the AI, we are seeing that the 50% technical skill and 50% business skill are required, especially in data role, to understand what to be done, how to be done.
This is again like, you asked a good question here, because if I talk about my journey, most of the time I get a question like, I come from a commerce background, I'm a housewife, I want to start a data science journey, or the data scientist, I am a well-fledged. In order to even leverage the code which is getting generated through different platforms, you need to have a foundation of programming, right? Because then only you can understand the code which is getting generated, what they have written, how you can modify. So it's very important that you know the basics of Python and
Right.
R, because they are the most commonly used languages. Basically, Python,
Mhm.
which is incredible versatile. They are vastly used for data analysis, machine learning, automation. On the other, R is a great tool for stats, for visualization, and is limited by few of the industry, which is like, life sciences or finances, which allows you to work with and querying the databases efficiently. Now, once you know the basic of programming, the other technical skills, you should know what kind of transformation you need to do. So NumPy and Pandas are the essential libraries which you should know how to handle your structured data. And for big data, if you're moving toward it, Spark is crucial for managing and processing the large scale data.
Right.
The next step is the machine learning and AI, right?
Mhm.
So in order to build the models and the make predictions, one should learn the libraries like how the scikit-learn work for traditional machine learning tasks
Right.
versus how the frameworks like TensorFlow or generative AI are emerging as the game changers, particularly in deep learning and
Mhm.
AI-driven projects. For any of the data science role, you need to understand at least one of the infrastructure which gonna support, because as data is growing in every industry, they need an
Right.
infrastructure to support it. So familiarity with
Mhm.
the cloud platform is very much needed, whether it is Azure, AWS, GCP, or Snowflake. It's very important
Mhm.
because most of the companies are moving toward cloud-based system. And in my point of view, Databricks is gaining traction for large-scale data processing and machine learning. So we should know this infrastructure, at least one of it. So as you rightly said, even if you know programming, if you don't know the critical thinking and
Mhm.
problem solving, your job, because data science is not about which means where you're constantly thinking how you're going to apply the data to answer those strategic questions or provide actionable insight. And communication and storytelling, which is very very important, because until unless you are not able to communicate your finding effectively, it doesn't matter how sophisticated your analysis is. If you are not able to explain it, it's all for nothing. So whether data scientist or data storytelling, non-technical audiences to understand complex insights. So I would say yes, this is very much required.
So we talk about multiple technical skills, right? Either it's Python, R programming, or Spark, or another cloud platform, right? And that's important for any of this role to learn this skill. Now, what are the different way where people can learn this skill, right? What are the medium available, right? Either online, offline, or what are the options available for them to learn this one by one?
Again, the vast amount of information are available on the internet. If you start searching for one program, hundred of courses gonna be suggested by the internet, right?
Right.
But if you gonna ask this question to me, I would say like, like I'm gonna share my journey, that what kind of resources I have used and which has been very helpful for me even today, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I would recommend, if you're a beginner resource, if you're just starting out, I would recommend a few key sources or the courses that lay a strong foundation in both programming and machine learning, like Harvard CES 50. It's an
Mm-hmm.
amazing introductory course to computer science. It's
Okay.
provide a thorough and solid understanding of basics of programming algorithm and problem solving.
Mm-hmm.
Another my favorite course, which is an excellent starting point for any of the beginner, is Andrew ng machine learning course. It is available on Coursera, and it is one of the most popular courses. The reason is it covers the fundamental machine learning concepts, and it is very specially great if you're dipping your toes into this field. So I would definitely recommend for everyone to go through the Andrew ng machine learning course.
Okay.
Now coming to from the data analysis point, right? So for any data analysis, I highly recommend people to develop the skill for SQL. Like there are many people in the industry as on today who just know SQL and they are still thriving and striving in their current job. And one of the course which I would recommend for SQL is SQL for data science, which is offered by Mode Analytics on Data Camp. It covers the foundation skills for working with data, and the course is a great introduction to query the databases and understanding the data structure. So
Mhm.
this is, I just talk about beginners. Now coming
Right.
to the intermediate resources. So once you have your basic down clearly, it's time to move to the intermediate skills. So the
Mhm.
one of the course, which again is my favorite, is the data science specialization by John Hopkins University.
Okay.
This is also available on it is a fantastic course for deepening your understanding of data analysis, programming, and machine learning. The way they have explained the course, right? The series itself have covers everything from inference to regression model, and is
Okay.
perfect for those who can grasp the basics and
Mhm.
want to level up their game.
Okay.
Another great resource is the book. Like I prefer to read books a lot. So one of the book which I really like, and I hope I would have show you if I knew that you're going to ask me this question, is the book Hands on Machine Learning with Scikit-learn and TensorFlow by Aurélien Guérin. So this book takes a more practical approach. You know, it's going to provide you example and hands-on exercises that can teach machine learning and popular Python libraries like the scikit-learn and the TensorFlow. You know, this is how we talk about beginners and how the intermediate can learn about. Now moving on to the next level, which is for the advanced resources, which is something which now I refer, right? So I generally focus on research paper
Mhm.
because they are the invaluable resources. Because now you know how your machine learning works at my
Mhm.
level of my career. I know how a machine algorithm work, what kind of model I have to use for which business problem. But when I deep dive into the different research paper from different conferences like ICML, which is,
Mhm.
international conferences on machine learning, or CVPR, which is Conference of
Mhm.
Computer Vision and Pattern Recognition, they give you an idea of how these cutting edge technologies are going. And
Right.
that will help you in solving a business problem from different people perspective. That's going to give you an idea
Mhm.
what kind of the features or how you can modify your existing model to bring better results.
Right.
And one thing through this channel, I want to recommend to the audience who's listening to our podcast that participate in Kaggle competition, because
Okay.
it will provide you the real world data science problem to work on, because
Mhm.
that allow you to see how other approach the same problem, which can be incredible valuable for you to learning the new techniques, right?
Right.
So just beyond taking courses, the best way to learn data science is by doing, by working on real data projects is where the magic happens. Because until unless you're not going to apply what you have learned to the actual data sets, or you're not going to contribute to the open sources project,
Mhm.
don't be afraid to make mistakes
Right.
and along the way, because until unless you're not gonna make mistake, you're not gonna learn. And
Mhm.
stay updated with the latest trend by following industry blogs, joining online communities, attending conferences, following me on LinkedIn. Practice you're gonna do, the more you're gonna immerse yourself in this field, the more confident and the skilled you're gonna become.
Right. Right. So we start with some of the online courses. Then there are books. Then there is a research paper which people can go through, and then staying attached with the community either on the offline conferences or online platform. And these all can at least give some idea about the what are the field and how the field is evolving to understand and learn new things.
Right.
And there is always a discussion between the free resource and paid resource, right? Because many people try to learn either the paid courses and some don't have the budget to go for the free resources like YouTube or other platform. So how you see the quality of the content nowadays coming in between this one?
Like when I started as well, answering your last question, I mentioned that there's a lot available all over the internet. It's just about like where you will integrate, where you will be able to connect yourself more, right?
Right.
So if you talk about the few of the courses which I told, definitely they are the paid one. The reason I'm asking to go through those courses, because when you start going through the free courses, you will not able to get the deep dive. Again, the courses are not connected to each other, right? you
Mm-hmm.
don't you don't understand the flow. The way these people have organized these courses, they are very well organized and connected to the dots. Like for
Mm-hmm.
example, the one which I talked about, the data science specialization by John Hopkins University, I think this is around $40, but it is one of the comprehensive courses which you should
Mm-hmm.
do it. Now if you don't have the uh, you know like, for example, if you cannot afford at this time of the paid course, there are a lot of material, lot of free courses are available. And that's why I asked to join Kaggle, because Kaggle
Right.
is one of the free course, I would say, a great website where Kaggle offer an array for free micro courses on specific data
Mm-hmm.
science skills like Python, machine learning, SQL, and it will also provide an opportunity to apply those skills in the real world data sets and challenges. The basic course which I talk about, Harvard CS50, it's a free course. It's an introduction to computer science, and it is one of the best online course which can going to provide a good foundation in programming. Then you have different YouTube channel. Like one of my best, like one of my favorite is Stat Quest. I'm forgetting. It's Stat Quest by John Stammer. So it is
Okay.
like the way he has designed the course is amazing. He will explain each of the concept within 2 to 3 minutes of video by playing the music at the back.
Mm-hmm.
So that can break down the complex problem even in a very digestible way. The data is
Right.
cool. They have done a beginner friendly Python tutorial. But once you have an idea about how these things works from the free
Mm-hmm.
courses, you should do some of the courses which I just mentioned in my last question, because that gonna give you a good understanding how these things are interrelated with each other.
So they have to clearly understand what to learn and how to learn based on the resources. And once you have a clear understanding of the solid foundation, then you can expand and try to learn advanced courses on that one.
Yes, yes. So, like, I would definitely, and the way when I was explaining beginner, intermediate, and advanced, so the courses which I suggested, they start with the free resources to build a foundation. Once you're comfortable, then invest in the paid courses to gain in depth knowledge and certification, because certification is important, right? If you go for an interview and if you have done your certification from a
Mm-hmm.
renowned program, that will boost your confidence, and the other person will also understand, okay, you are not just talking, you actually know what you are talking
Mm-hmm.
about. So this
Right.
combination of free and paid resources gonna allow you to tailor your learning journey to your
Mm-hmm.
unique needs and pace, which is a key to long-term success in data science.
And if you go the how the practical aspect work, because we have seen that there is theoretical concept learning, and then there's the application on the how you apply the learning, right? And in the data analytics or data science part, we have seen the challenge in terms of the what are the data sets the students can get either the KGL or different platform, and how to understand the data set and how to create the portfolio of data. Because many times I suggest many students to create a portfolio which showcase their skill. When you're starting as a fresher and don't have the experience, right? You have to showcase something, right? So there is a theoretical concept, and then at practical level you have to show something to the interviewer that okay, I know this one, I built this one. Now you want to
Yes.
create a portfolio of the something, some outcome. How you suggest that okay, these are the data set or which you can take or refer from the Kaggle or any other platform, and what you can create which can help you to start your career.
Okay. So again, like, as we were talking about the courses in the program, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you rightly, like the way you are mentioning to your students is rightly said, like practical learning is important in data science,
Right.
because the field is inherently hands-on,
Mm-hmm.
the real world experience where you can apply a theoretical concept to the actual data and problems, right? So one of the best way, which I just mentioned, Kaggle, go for it. It is
Mm-hmm.
one of the best platform for hands-on learning. It has a variety of competition, data sets, kernels, which are shared by different data scientists. It offers tutorials, micro courses that allow you to work on problem ranging from basic to highly advanced. So create your profile, start participating, pace up your game, participate in those competition, get the good rank, that gonna give you a lot of confidence and make your
Mm.
profile looks really good. UCI machine learning repository, which is again a collection of data sets from different domains, healthcare, finance. I still use UCI, right? They are
Okay.
often used in research that can be used for your project.
Mm-hmm.
So use that platform. Google Dataset Search. It's again an amazing tool that can help you finding the data sets from different domains and organization. So you should start, like as you rightly said, you should start focusing on building your portfolio, building on end-to-end project where you understand the problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
You gather the data, perform your EDA, do your feature engineering, do your model building and evaluations. So, and then participate in competition and challenges. So I think while doing on this, you can create your portfolio over the time period. Then definitely select a platform for your portfolio. So
Okay.
before even diving into creating content, decide where you will showcase your work. So some of the popular platform which even the organization uses is GitHub, right?
Mm-hmm.
The go-to platform for showcasing your code and project repository. Nowadays, I see that people not only put their LinkedIn link, they put their GitHub link where they have created their portfolio for the kind of the data sets they have worked on, the kind of the MLs they have applied in their learning. So
Right.
it is a widely recognized channel in the tech community.
Mm-hmm.
Again, like Kaggle, as I mentioned, that's a great way to share your code, especially if you're participating in competition. You can create your personal websites. If you really want more control over the presentation of your work, consider building a personal website using the
Mm-hmm.
platform like WordPress, Squarespace. Uh, you can also build your own site using GitHub pages. So I think that there are multiple sources available. The best one we just talked about. We should create our portfolio on that to showcase our industry domain knowledge, to showcase the kind of the work we are doing today, to understand how we are understanding the business problem, and to also show that will also help us in showing your critical thinking and problem solving skills, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those blog posts or articles, they can help you understanding the interview to understand like how you can explain the complex topics in a simpler way, right? Your presentation going to demonstrate that how you can explain the technical finding to a non-technical audience.
Mm-hmm.
And collaboration project, when you're collaborating with the other Kaggle users, you're going to show that skill that you how you can collaborate in an open source project. That can also be
Right.
showcased through that portfolio, which is very important. Like in order to be a strong data science scientist or a data analyst, it's a combination of technical projects, a clear structure, and an ability to communicate your thought process effectively. So I think by selecting the right project, presenting them clearly, building your portfolio where you can solve the real world problem, can make a lasting impression and stand out to potential employers or collaborators.
So we discuss about the industry. We discuss about the skill set required to start the career. Now, someone want to start the career. So, what is the growth journey for them? How they start the career, and at different level, how they are going to grow in their career, and what are the challenges they face in each level?
See, data scientist is not about getting your first job, right? It's about continuous growth.
Mm-hmm.
So if someone asks me, what is your advice, how we can grow in this journey? Master the business side.
Okay.
One thing which gonna keep you ace in the game is to understand your business. A lot of
Mm-hmm.
new data scientists, when they entered into this field, they always keep challenging each other based on their technical expertise, right?
Mm-hmm.
They get caught up in the technical aspects. While those are very crucial, it is equally important to understand the business side of things. Suppose
Right.
a data set has been given to you which has 300 features, right?
Mm-hmm.
A data scientist went, okay, check 50% of the data missing, and he just delete all the columns. But if you have an understanding of the business side, if you have worked in healthcare, if you have worked in finance or retail, then you will understand the domain you are in. Then you will
Mm-hmm.
understand which columns are important to keep in, what kind of imputation I should be applying on those variables. So
Right.
knowing the industry challenges, goals, and the key metrics is very important to tailor your analysis to provide insight that can drive a meaningful impact, right?
Mm-hmm.
Second thing is stay curious. So the word, like, we even talk about from data analysts to data scientists, talk about Gen AI. So the world of data science is evolving rapidly. The new
Mm-hmm.
tools, algorithms are being introduced all the time. For instance,
Right.
uh, Few months back, we were talking about large language models and generative AI, which are becoming a game changers in many industry. Similarly, advancement in cloud computing and big data technologies, how they are shaping the landscape. Now, coming with the small language model, the game is altogether different, right?
Right.
So, whether you are picking up a new programming language, whether you are experimenting with emerging technologies or attending webinars, make it a habit to constantly update your skills.
Right.
Third thing, network and build a personal brand, which you just talk about as well. Building your network is critical part of growing in data science. So attend conferences, meet up, hackathon, share your knowledge
Mm-hmm.
on learning platforms like LinkedIn, write blogs, post about your project, try to create your personal brand. So when you want to sum it up, advancing in data science is not just about technical expertise. It's about
Mm-hmm.
combining your technical skills with business acumen, right?
Right.
Leadership, continuous learning, and networking. Keep leveling up. And remember that growth is a journey, it's not a destination.
Right, right. And how you see the application of data science or data analytics in different domain, right? You working in healthcare, okay, previously you working in some of the finance thing, then in the tech or different consulting. So how you see the impact of or the application of data science or analytics changes as per the industry?
Okay. So let me just talk about myself only, because I have worked in healthcare, finance, and retail, all the three industries so far,
Right,
right?
right.
And the way data science has a wide range of application across various domains, but the application is very different, right? Because in healthcare, the objective is how I can use data science to leverage to enhance the overall quality care for patients, how I can create or optimize the medical operation and improve the outcomes. So
Mhm.
some of the key applications which I have developed in my current organization is the predictive analytics for patient outcomes, right?
Okay.
The data science model, they can analyze the patient data, whether it's their medical history, lab results, demographics, to predict the future health event, like such as
Mhm.
heart attacks, strokes, or hospital readmission. If predictive models can identify the high risk patient for chronic diseases like diabetes or heart disease, they can allow for early intervention. That can
Mhm.
help us in solving lot of real problem in healthcare. Right. Another problem which I have worked in my previous company is the drugs discovery. Right.
Mhm.
So data science play a very important role in pharmaceutical companies in discovering the new drugs by analyzing the vast data sets related to chemical compound, genetic
Mhm.
information, clinical trials. So these algorithms can help us in identifying the potential drug candidate faster, which can reduce our time and cost in drug development.
Mhm.
Right. One of the application which is my personal favorite is personalized medicine. Right.
Okay.
Because generally, dono is not the answer to all the disease. So when you analyze the patient data, their genetics and lifestyle factor, data science can enable the creation of personalized treatment plan. These treatment can be tailored to individual patient, which can improve their efficiency, effectiveness, and minimizing the side effects of those treatment. Right
Right, right.
now, if I shift my focus from life sciences and healthcare to finance, now in the finance industry, data science is driving innovation and improving decision making at a very large scale. They're reducing
Right.
the risk manager. They are
Mm.
improving the customer service at next level. One of
Mhm.
the biggest application in finance is fraud detection and prevention, right?
Right.
The way data science models, they are analyzing the transaction data, behavioral patterns to detect the
Mhm.
fraudulent activities in real times. We are building the machine learning algorithm that can spot the anomalies and the pattern in user behavior, such as unusual transaction, right?
Right.
Which can help the prevent fraud in banking and credit card transactions.
Mhm.
One of the algorithm which most of the institution uses is credit scoring,
Right.
because the data science model can assess a borrower's credit worthiness by
Mhm.
analyzing the financial behavior, their transaction history, and other factor. So this can help finance institution to decide whether to borrow the loan or not, and they can
Yeah, right.
helping the business to make their decision accurate, right, regarding loan approval and credit score. So yeah, on the finances again, finances as well, they are using to build customer behavior, preferences, and interactions. They are also creating their personalized financial advice, how we are creating the personalized treatment plan in healthcare, right?
Mhm.
Now coming to retail, the biggest example which we have of data science in retail is Amazon.
Right.
So if we see the kind journey which Amazon has taken in the last 2 decades, right? It's all possible because of the machine learning and algorithm, the wise use they are doing it today, right? The customer segmentation and personalization which they have done. They have used the data science to segment the customer based on their purchasing behavior, their demographics, their preferences. So by analyzing their data, they can again offer a personalized recommendation and targeted promotions, right? Demand forecasting, like we use predictive analysts to forecast the demands for the product by analyzing them, optimizing their inventory levels, by reducing the risk of stockouts or overstocking. So by analyzing historical sales data, seasonal trend, and external factor, we can predict the future demand more effectively.
Mhm.
Another thing which I can talk about is sentimental analysis, which we use in many, like in all the fields, but in retail, basically, we use to analyze the customer reviews, feedback, social media conversation to gauge the customer sentiments. Retail, retailers can identify the product issue. They can understand the customer preference. They can enhance
Mhm.
their service by analyzing this insight.
Right.
So, data science is reshaping industries by enabling smarter decisions. They can improve the efficiency, they can deliver the better outcome, whether it is healthcare, finance, retail. The power of data is evident in its ability to solve the complex problem, to predict the future trends,
Mhm.
to make the optimized business processes. So, its application will expand, and it is an essential tool for industry to stay competitive and innovative in today's trend.
So, what's your final advice to all the people who want to start a career in analytics and science?
Well, I would say we have covered a lot today, thanks to you, from my personal journey into data science to the essential skills which you need to grow in this field, the challenges you're gonna might face, and how the impact of AI is changing this world. So there's a lot to take in. But if you are really starting out or looking to grow, one thing which has helped me in my career, and I would like to share with your audience, curiosity and adaptability. They are the key. They are the word of data science, because the way data science is always evolving. Keep
Mhm.
learning, keep
Right.
experimenting. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there. The more
Mhm.
you're gonna face these challenges and the opportunity, the more you're gonna grow. So
Right.
this is where I would like to end our conversation. Like if you found these are the valuable things, I would definitely, would like to talk more about it. But if you really want to start your journey in the data science, the kind of the courses we talk about, start following it, start participating in the challenges, and keep learning.
Mhm.
Keep learning, keep exploring, and stay ahead in the world of data is my advice.
Right, right. I think that's the common thing we have seen around multiple episodes, that be curious and keep learning, because that's the only
Yes.
way we all are having, because the way things are changing rapidly, that's the only way we can stay relevant to the market and upskilling and keep learning the things.
Yes.
Great, amazing. Thank you so much, Pallavi, for your time and sharing all the valuable insight. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dushyant, for having me on your podcast.
Thank you.